Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? This is Colin, back at it again with another episode 25 of A New Direction, rocking the pink hoodie yet again, as usual. There has been a lot of build up to this episode or the recording because I've been having a lot of technical problems. My microphone started making like some weird noise, like a weird, like, I don't know. It's like a spacey sounding noise, like a spaceship or something. It's very fuzzy. I don't exactly know what's up with that. But I think I got it kind of adjusted well enough that I can get a decent recording sound from it. But we are a quarter of a way to 100. I mean, I would say we would celebrate with something cool, but I just have a pretty standard episode in store. I don't know. I have to think of some like special things I can do for milestones, I guess. But with that being said, we're gonna have a standard episode like usual. So we've got the music recommendation, and so today, I'm going to be recommending "Ordinary Corrupt Human Love" by Def Heaven. And we've got Magnolia down here, who is making a lot of noise. But "Ordinary Corrupt Human Love" by Def Heaven. So this is like a black gaze post rock kind of album. Um, it's definitely like a departure from Def Heaven's sound if you're a fan of Sunbather or even New Bermuda. Really, this is very different as far as their approach to the songwriting. And it's definitely not for everybody. I know me personally and other people that I'm kind of friends with, they kind of prefer Def Heaven's older, more black gazy sound, like the sound that they got on Sunbather. And so this album might not be a favorite amongst Def Heaven listeners, but if you got into them with this album, then I mean, yeah, it's solid. I mean, it's a solid album all the way around, but I just in general prefer the older sound because I'm a huge black metal fan and a metalhead in general. So the older sound is a little more up my alley. But some notable tracks, we've got Honeycomb, Canary Yellow, and Glint. These are my three favorite, although I would say Glint is probably my favorite all the way around, just across the board. But they're all really good. I mean, this whole album is really solid all the way through. There's still a lot of metal-y parts. I mean, it's mostly a metal album still. Definitely not like Infinite Granite, which is their most recent release. And I still have yet to really give that one a thorough listen. So maybe when I am able to check that out, I'll be able to go a little bit more in depth and give my thoughts on that one. But overall, I would probably give this album probably like an 8 out of 10. Like, it's not my favorite Def Heaven album. Like, Sunbather for me is like a 10 out of a 10 out of 10 album. So definitely not like Sunbather, but it's pretty good. Just as far as like a general listen, like a general approach to it, it's pretty solid. But with that being said, we're gonna dive right in. We've kind of got another food style episode. Food is definitely something that I'm very passionate about and that I love a lot. I love to eat and just yeah. I guess we're going on the more dessert side this time. The last episode was more about I guess the main course, like entree type deals, and now we're going into the desserts. So right off the bat, we're going to be talking about sweet treats. So sweet treats is, I define a sweet treat as anything sweet, really. Some people say sweet treats are like ice cream or like a sundae, a cone, something like that. But I would say a sweet treat is anything sweet. And I have been raised very much around sweet treats. Getting sweet treats has definitely been something that I've done a lot with my family. Something that distinctly comes to mind is the Summer of the Shakes that Sonic does, where they were like half priced over the summer after 8 o'clock. And so me and my grandfather would go like literally every weekend because I would go spend the night at their house at first it was every Saturday, but then my brother, as my brother got older, he found less time to go. And so I moved to his day, which was Friday. And so I would spend the night on Friday. So every Friday night, me and my grandfather would go out and get a Sonic milkshake. And so for that reason, and I guess just in general, the nostalgia of my milkshakes, experiences. Like a milkshake is definitely probably my favorite sweet treat. Like I definitely have a lot of fond memories getting milkshakes. Both with my grandfather and with my parents as well. Me and my parents would go and participate at the Sonic Summer of the Shakes as well. And so as far as milkshakes go, like it's hard to pick a favorite. From Sonic, I would probably say the Oreo chocolate milkshake. It's got like Oreo cookies in it and chocolate, and I think it's got fudge in it too, and then whipped cream and a cherry. And I used to not like cherries, but cherries is something that I quickly came to love after I guess I expanded my horizons a little bit getting older. So I love cherries. Actually, there is a cherry cake that my grandfather makes that is absolutely immaculate, incredible. And so, Pops, if you're watching this, which I know you are, we got to get a cherry cake going sometime. I'll come help you make it, but it's so good. It's literally pink, and the icing is homemade, and it's just really buttery icing, and it's fully cherry flavored. Like it's so good. Every part of it is just delicious. You cannot go wrong with this cake, and it is for that reason probably my favorite cake of all time. Yeah, there's that one. Okay, so this is really right on the topic of sweet treats. I kind of just transitioned into this from talking about the memories of milkshakes with my grandfather, but cake is definitely like a big sweet treat as well for me. The cherry cake, and then there's also this eclair cake that my grandmother makes that is exceptionally delicious. I haven't had one of those in a while. I've kind of haven't had a lot of time to request one, so definitely might want to get one of those as well. So Mimi, if you're watching this, which I figure you probably are as well, maybe we can get one of those going too. We're gonna get all the desserts coming up in here before the podcast is over. But yeah, I just love desserts. Like, what can I say? As far as like other sweet treats, the milkshakes I talked about, the Oreo chocolate from Sonic. I like hot fudge milkshakes as well. There's a restaurant called Highway 55, and I've talked about Highway 55 before actually. But they have a hot fudge milkshake that's really good. I like it a lot. But milkshakes are up there. Cake is up there. That cherry cake is literally immaculate. And also shout out to my mom too. My mom makes a banging red velvet cake with homemade cream cheese icing that's really good. Like my family's just like a bunch of bakers. Like we just bake like crazy bomb ass cakes, and they're so good. And I could eat all of them all day long. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I could survive on them if I had to. They are that good. But yeah, there's the cakes, the milkshakes. I like cookies a lot. The Firehouse chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin cookies are immaculate. The dough is really good. I love cookie dough a lot too. But I am especially fond of the chocolate chip cookies after they're baked at work, because they are just so good. Like they just like melt in your mouth when they're fresh. Like the chocolate's so gooey and stringy, and just it's so good. I can eat them all day long, and I have definitely partaken of the cookies quite frequently. They are just a great way to start your shift, or like if you eat while you're there, a good dessert. I mean, you really cannot go wrong with the Firehouse chocolate chip cookies. So if you are, in an area that has a Firehouse and you want to bang a dessert, go get the chocolate chip cookie. It's really good. They also have brownies, which shout out to brownies. I'm honestly not like the hugest brownie fan. I like them, but I especially there's another local restaurant called Groucho's that has a really really good brownie. It's like a salted caramel fudge brownie, and oh my god, it is so good. I could eat it all day. Like that's what I'm saying with all these desserts. Like I could literally just eat them all day long because I'm a huge fan of them. They're just immaculate. And, I really don't think you can go wrong with any dessert sweet treat item. Cookie dough. Ice cream is pretty good as well. I'm not as, I used to not be, so actually we're going to talk about this, but there was a time I was really not into ice cream, and then I worked at an ice cream place, and that's actually the next topic. So we'll probably transition into that. And so I kind of got really into liking ice cream for a little while, and then I haven't really had a lot of ice cream since I left that place. But ice cream is definitely something that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with. So I worked at this job. I worked at a local ice cream place. And it was a good job. Like, I want to start off by saying right off the bat, it was a good job. It was a good work experience. It was very fast paced, and it was a good learning experience. Like, it was kind of cool to work at an ice cream place like that. Like, people would just come through, and like you would just know how to make everything on the menu, and it was really quick. And like, you had to be really quick on your feet and be able to adapt, which is something I liked. I will say the work itself was kind of mundane. Like, the actual making of the ice cream itself was a little bit mundane, because it was very brainless. Like, you were just kind of working on muscle memory. But, you would have those breaks where you would have to make like a huge, like massive quart of ice cream milkshake, which is like a size that they offered, and then or like a banana split or something like that, which you actually made. Like, you would slice it and cut it and get the scoops and all the toppings and everything. It was really cool. The downside, however, to working at this ice cream place was the majority of the staff was younger than I was at the time. I was 17 when I worked there, and I worked there after my 18th birthday, but not for a very long time. Um, but I was 17 when I worked there, and the majority of the staff was actually younger than I was. So I was working with, like, 14, 15, 16 year olds, like very young people. And so because of that, you kind of got the whole like high school drama kind of vibe coming through a lot, which at a work environment, and at least for me, because, when I go to work, I'm very much about, I go to work, I bring a work mentality. Like, I leave all my outside stuff outside of it. I go to work and do my job because that's what I'm paid to do. That's, I'm paid for doing a good job. And, by doing a good job, you are able to get recognized and have potential to work your way up. And so I think it's very important going to work to have kind of that work mentality and leave stuff at home that is not necessarily going to benefit you at work or by pondering at work. And so, I would go to work and I was just kind of there doing my thing. I would open up and talk to people. I kind of met friends at this place, or I guess I had work friends at this place. And, way back I talked about the different types of friends. I definitely had work friends at this place. But I definitely found that, the drama definitely kind of was forefront in all interactions that went on there, despite the fact that the employee size, the amount of employees was not huge. Like, at a shift at a time, there'd probably be like 5 or 6 of us, maybe, which, sounds like a lot. If you see the building for this place, it's incredibly small, but they do an incredibly high amount of business, for such a small, physically sized, place. And so they ended up having, like, like I said, 5 or 6 of us on a shift at a time, sometimes more depending on the season and what the conditions were like, at the time. But in general, the 5 or 6 of us, even at that small amount of people, I guess there were like cliques and stuff. Like, it was very divided up, and like, if you didn't really fit in with some of the people, like, you didn't fit in. Like, it was like a clique, like in a high school. And here I am, kind of bringing my work mentality, kind of staying out of it. And I was pretty much, at this point, done with school. I didn't really have a lot of classes. And so I was really just focused on working at that point. And so it was kind of annoying to kind of have to go and feel very out of place, kind of, I guess uncomfortable there because you didn't really fit in. And then you kind of work your way into and meet these people. And then there's all the gossip and stuff that comes with having that type of, young, employee base. And so, I don't know. It was definitely a interesting environment to work in with all the different situations and drama that would go on. But I guess as far as experiences working there, I can't really say that anything happened where I was in a bad spot or uncomfortable or anything like that. One thing that I distinctly remember was this woman who would come through and she would get like a mint chocolate chip. I think she would get a concrete. So it was like, like a Blizzard from Dairy Queen. And it was mint chocolate chip. And she always requested extra mint. And we called her the mint lady. And she wanted it like toothpaste. Like she wanted like a toothpaste amount of mint in this ice cream. And so we would always put a whole heaping amount of mint in there, and this stuff we'd blend it up, and it would be like deep green. And we'd be like, "Is that enough for you?" And she would like, she'd look at it, and she would say no. So we'd have to put more mint in it, and it would just be like a dark green by the time we give it back to it, and it just reeked of mint. And I love mint chocolate chip. I love mint, just in general, and that was still way too much mint, like an unnecessary amount of mint. It was sickening to kind of smell it at such how strong it was. But Mint Lady was definitely something that or is something I remember. One of the first thing that comes to mind, because she was a regular. She would come quite frequently. Another thing was all the sneaking and making ice cream while because the owners were the ones that ran the place. There were two of them, and so they would alternate through the week or on the weekend who would work, and they would just be like the shift lead on staff, the owner as well. And so sometimes the owners would have to go out and do stuff while they were, on the clock, I guess. Like they would have to go out and run errands or go to the store and get something or go visit, so and so. They would have to personal business to attend to, I guess. And so they would leave, and that was always my time to make some ice cream, because I was always down to try something new. And being surrounded with all this, the different flavors of ice cream and all these toppings and candies and all this stuff that came with working at this ice cream place. Like they had brownies, they had shortcake, they had like literally every candy you could imagine, Reese Cups, like Butterfinger, like Oreo. They had all the good stuff. And you could make whatever you want. All the different sauces, they had peanut butter, mint. They had a variety. Like I'm talking like they have a whole bunch of these flavors. Like there are so many of them. It's kind of hard for me to even think of other ones. Like there was the peanut butter, there was the mint, there was like marshmallow cream, caramel, butterscotch, all these different sauces that you could mix in. And so like you would just make stuff. Like I remember trying a whole bunch of different stuff. There was one that was cheesecake. Like I would try different cheesecake ones that were good. I remember blueberry cheesecake, I think, was one that I tried that I enjoyed a lot. And then they also had different like seasonal items. So like you could get like the pumpkin pie concrete or milkshake, and they would literally blend a piece of pumpkin pie into the ice cream in the cup, which I thought was kind of cool. And same with key lime pie. That was like the spring or the summer season item. I thought it was really cool how they kind of I guess blended a whole piece of pie into the ice cream. I thought that was kind of crazy. But in general, my experiences and my memories of working there are fairly fond. I can't really say that I hated it. I didn't necessarily like it. Like it was a time in my life where work was kind of an outlet for me. And I mean, work is still an outlet for me, but at that time I was going through a lot of things, and so I would kind of go to work, and it was a way for me to kind of de-stress and like, be out of my, be out of my head for a little while. And so, I'm kind of, I don't know, there's that element to it that kind of, prevents me from going back there, I guess. Just some of the experiences that I was going through at the time, and how it was kind of like I moved past them, I guess. And so I don't really go there all that often anymore. That's not to say that I don't like their ice cream. Their ice cream is really good. But, just I guess the personal stuff that I went through and the stuff that is tied to that restaurant through my, working there. I don't know. It's, I guess, just things I don't like to revisit. But ice cream is banging. I think that as far as working at an ice cream place, it's a lot of fun. And you do meet people you meet people your age, I guess, if you're a teenager. So if that's something you're interested in, an ice cream place is a good place you can go to work at to have that opportunity. But yeah, I don't know. I think that I definitely prefer working at Firehouse. Firehouse is a higher paying job, and it's I guess a little more up my alley, a little more. It's less fast paced, but it's still fast paced enough that I kind of feel like I'm driven to get things done as quickly as possible, and so I really like that about Firehouse, I think. But yeah, ice cream is pretty dope. I like the mint chocolate chip is probably my favorite. And the cookie dough, like I said, but like I would get like a mint chocolate chip milkshake every time I go. That's usually my go-to whenever I go to that place. But like I said, I don't go too often. But sometimes I can't help myself. I mean, like memories aside, like sometimes you just gotta go. And at this point, like it's kind of like screw it. Like it's been pretty long time ago now. I'm kind of past that point. So maybe you just gotta start going back and trying different things there. But with that being said, we're going to move on to the next topic, which is my favorite sodas. And so I got to start off by saying I absolutely love soda. Soda is definitely, I don't know, it's like my favorite beverage. Like I love water. I definitely should drink more water. I go through spells where I drink a whole bunch of water and then I just kind of fall off and drink like no water at all. I don't really know why that happens. But I kind of have those spells, and right now I'm kind of in a soda spell. So I've been drinking a lot of soda, but I don't really drink regular soda. And so, before y'all comment and say, oh, that sugar is so bad for you, I actually do not drink regular sodas like that. I actually prefer diet sodas and zero sugar sodas. To regular sodas at this point. Like regular Coke is good. I like regular Coke, but like I actually prefer Diet Coke and Coke Zero both to regular Coke. Diet Coke is honestly probably my favorite out of the three of them. I know that's kind of like a sin to say because it's Diet Coke, but I don't know. I really like Diet Coke a lot, and I think the flavor of it is just immaculate. And there was a time when I didn't like it at all. Like regular was the way to go. And, regular still is different sometimes. Like, I will definitely drink a regular soda here and there if I'm really feeling it, but they're too sweet for me now. Like, now that I've kind of gotten in tune with the diets, I find that I enjoy them more, and the regulars are kind of too sweet now. So, take that what you will, but Diet Coke is definitely a favorite. The Coke Zero, like I was saying, is a favorite. I also really like Mountain Dew a lot. Mountain Dew is a banging drink. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that my mom kind of put me on Mountain Dew, and my mom has been drinking Mountain Dew for like decades. And, me and my mom are tight like that. Shout out to my mom. We're really tight like that. So she got me drinking the Mountain Dew. And I think that, yeah, you can't really go wrong with a good Mountain Dew, especially the Baja Blast. Like, yo, hold on. Mountain Dew Baja Blast is like the best soda you can buy from any fast food place. I'm sorry. Like you can go, like Firehouse, for example, has got that Coca-Cola freestyle machine where you can go and mix all the different flavors and everything. But no, Baja Blast is where it's at. I don't care. You can fight me on that. That is a fact. I also love the Frostbite, which I believe is a Walmart exclusive Mountain Dew flavor. It is banging. It's so good. I love that one as well. You really can't go wrong. I don't know. Mountain Dew is one of those things that I really don't think they miss. Code Red is really good. Shoot, they just drop bangers. I guess Mountain Dew is a really consistently good beverage. As far as other sodas, as far as a soda, I guess that has a very nostalgic, I guess vibe to me. Something that I think back of fondly is cherry Pepsi because, like I had mentioned earlier, when I would go and stay at my grandparents' house, they would stock the fridge with cans of cherry Pepsi. They would just buy a few 12 packs of them, and I would come and I would drink a bunch of them. I love cherry Pepsi. I love cherry flavored soda in general. Cherry Coke is really good. But that cherry Pepsi, and I actually think Pepsi is better than Coke, like just across the board. I think Pepsi is better than Coke. Kill me if you want. It's not. It's my opinion, but Pepsi is better than Coke. I said it. But yeah, cherry Pepsi was one of those things like has a lot of nostalgic kind of love to it for me, and I really do love the way it tastes. It's really really good. I don't know. And then like water, I like sparkling water, like the Mountain Dew Clear American. I especially love the cherry limeade and the wild cherry flavors and the black cherry flavors. If you can't tell, I love cherry. Cherry is like my favorite sweet flavor. Um, yeah, sodas, and I guess sparkling water is technically, you could classify it as soda because it is like carbonated, right? I mean, I don't know. And that kind of reminds me. I was reading an article the other day about the original Coca-Cola recipe and like how it tasted. Well, and I mean, like obviously like you can make it today if you want, but like you probably shouldn't put cocaine in it. But there was actually cocaine in the original Coca-Cola recipe, and it was I don't know. I can't remember what they substituted for the cocaine, but they said it tasted a lot different. He said it was a lot sweeter than the Coke that we know today, and that it had a very different flavor profile. Said it was very earthy and kind of citrusy, if I remember correctly. So honestly, I don't really want to be drinking on that. Don't want to be sipping on that. Don't want to be trying that. I mean, I don't know, citrusy, earthy Coke. I don't think that's the move, really. I cannot see that being an enjoyable experience for anybody. But people back in the 1900s, man, they were drinking different. They were on that new wave, I guess, trying cocaine infused beverages. But I mean, I don't know. I think the story behind Coke is pretty crazy, and if you've never like read about it, I highly recommend researching it because it's just kind of cool to hear about. My understanding is it was like this pharmacist guy, and he was trying to get off morphine, and so he made Coca Cola with cocaine instead. Um, and the rest is history. So I don't know. It's an interesting story. But I guess that will transition us here into the last topic, which is my favorite Little Debbie cakes. And so, I mean, if y'all can't tell, I love sweet stuff. Like that was kind of like this whole episode is like a sweets episode, sugar special. Maybe I'll put that in the title. But yeah, I love Little Debbie cakes a lot. And I'm just gonna start off with my favorites right off the bat. I'm not gonna waste no time. Not gonna, you know, beat around the bush. My favorite Little Debbie cakes are the jelly cream pies, the oatmeal cream pies, and the fudge rounds. Those are my top three in that order. That is in the correct order. The jelly cream pies are absolutely my favorite. You just can't go wrong. Like the fudgy outside, and it's kind of like I don't know. It's just like it's like that soft kind of chocolatey gooey goodness, and then you got the jelly on the inside, and it just kind of melts in your mouth, and it's so good. The jelly cream pies are by far my favorite Little Debbie cake of all time, and my grandmother put me on those. Shout out to Mimi. um, I love you. Thank you for putting me on the uh, chocolate jelly cream pies because they are definitely my favorite. They quickly rose to the top. The oatmeal cream pies, yet again, are another favorite. Shout out to my grandparents for getting me hooked on those as well. They would keep them over at their house. And then the fudge rounds, my grandparents would buy them, but I almost more associate that with my parents. So shout out to my parents, love y'all. They were providing me the sweets back in the day. I remember occasionally they would buy like a box during the school week, and I would take them for dessert. But like I would eat them all by the time like Wednesday came around, so I was kind of back to my old shenanigans after that. Packing, I would pack some weird stuff for school lunch. Maybe I'll talk about that in a future episode. Um, but yeah, I would pack like some crazy stuff, and I remember the fudge rounds being like a staple of my desserts back in like middle school and high school, like early high school. I really don't think you can go wrong with any Little Debbie cake though. Like they're all really good. The Hostess cakes are also pretty good too, but Little Debbie just hits different. I don't know what it is. They're just like the sugariest and the sweetest and just the best tasting, most flavorful, if you will. I really do love them all, and I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. Like I said. But as far as like memories, like I said, I kind of associate Little Debbie cakes, or at least the oatmeal cream pies and the jelly cream pies, with my grandparents. A lot of fond memories going to their house and staying over there, and stuffing my face with sweets because as grandparents do, they would always make sure that they had a stockpile of sweets available for me and my brother, and so we would find ourselves eating them, and I would especially find myself getting into those little Debbie cakes. And then the school stuff with the fudge rounds, I think. And then they also they make jumbos, which I think is kind of common knowledge, but they also make double deckers. They make double decker oatmeal cream pies, and you can buy them at like Walmart and Food Lion, and they're huge. They're like this big, and they're so good. I highly recommend them to anybody who is a connoisseur of Little Debbie cakes like myself. They are very good. I don't know if connoisseur is a strong word, but I like them a lot. I'm an enthusiast. But yeah, I mean, with that being said, that pretty much wraps up episode 25, quarter of the way to 100, which is pretty crazy. And I also forgot to do the Christmas countdown at the beginning, so we're gonna do the Christmas countdown here at the end. So it is now the 3rd of December, which means we have 21 days until Christmas Eve, 22 days until Christmas Day. So the Christmas season is definitely upon us now. The good prices and chaos is coming. So be safe out there in the holiday season to all my viewers, and I hope this video finds you all in a positive mindset, a good spot, and if not, just know you're stronger than your circumstances. Shout out to everybody who watches the podcast. I really love and appreciate all of y'all and all the support that I get, the comments and everything. I do my best to respond to all the comments, and I do get back to everybody as quickly as I can. So yeah, shout out to all the viewers. I really appreciate y'all. But with that being said, this has been A New Direction, episode 25. I have been Colin. Stay chill, and I will see y'all next time. Thank you for watching.